Greetings YouTube, it's Quentin from Network Creation TV again, and I have another phone review. This is a review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. The Note 2, like the previous Galaxy Note, is a 5-inch, over 5-inch screen, actually 5.5, so it's a little bigger versus the 5.3-inch screen on the original Note. It's made a little differently. It's taller actually, and it's a little narrower, which actually makes it feel better in the hand, in my opinion. Another thing I like that they've done is they've lowered the power button so you can easily access it with your thumb versus trying to reach all the way up further. So that's a big plus. One of the things I like about this tablet, or phone phablet as they call it, is it comes with Jelly Bean, the latest operating system from Android. And usually a lot of phones, the newer phones, they come with the previous operating system, not the very latest. But it seems that a lot of manufacturers, well, not a lot, but it seems as if Samsung is trying to catch up and not be really late on releasing updates, or keeping it at least up to date with what's coming out now, like the Galaxy or the Nexus 4. I really like this. One of the things that I haven't liked in the past, is TouchWiz, but I'm finding that I really like this version of TouchWiz a lot better. It seems to work really well with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. And I have to say, I'm surprised by it. The operation of it is really smooth, and I think that's due to Project Butter. And it just runs a lot better, in my opinion. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to give you an idea of how it runs and some of the things I like about it. One of the things I really like, or at least one of my favorite things about the Note 2, are the new folders. Before, in previous versions of TouchWiz, it was just like a square, boring looking folder, and I don't know, I just didn't like the look of it. But I like the look of the folders, and the transitions of them are really neat. To create a folder, you can't just take two icons or apps and drag one over the top of the other, like in Jelly Bean. Or even in, I'm not sure if you could do that in previous versions of TouchWiz. You may have been able to. But what you have to do is basically say, take the app. Say you have two apps and you want to create a folder with them. You have to take the app, press it down, and you notice at the top, at the top left, it says create folder. You drag the app up to that folder. You get a pop-up, you name the folder. We'll just name this one test. If I can type, and you can see the auto correction in the typing. That's pretty cool. And then it puts the folder, the app that you dragged up, into a folder. Then only then you can take another app and then drag it into the folder after you've created the folder itself. But it's really neat. It's a good feature. I'm glad they changed that. Okay, we'll get rid of that, and you can see you just can swipe up, sort of like Jelly Bean, but a little different. You got swipe up to get rid of apps. Another thing is the S Pen functionality. When you remove the S Pen, you get when you remove the S Pen, you can feel like a vibration letting you know that it's out. Another feature of the S Pen that I will show in a minute is it's called Page Buddy, and I'll show that in a minute. With Page Buddy, when you remove the S Pen, it has certain functions, default functions that occur, and I'll show you. You basically remove the S Pen and you get the vibration, and then it automatically brings up your list and your create note app or widget, and you can, you know, use these default notes or create your own note basically. And this pretty much stays on the screen until you put the pen away, but it's a neat feature. And when you put the pen back in, it goes away. Another thing I like about it is if you have a stereo headset, it does something else that I like. If you want to listen to music, another thing that I mentioned before with the Page Buddy is when you put your earphones in the 3.5mm jack, it automatically defaults to like whatever you were doing last. If you were listening to a song or watching a video, it comes up immediately. And that's kind of cool. I like that. It also has the music player app, Play Store settings. It has speed tests, so I'm assuming that's like it also includes recent apps because I run speed test a lot. So when you take it back out, it pretty much goes back to normal. And I think that's kind of cool. When I first got this phone, it kind of annoyed me. I didn't know what it was doing. But if it annoys you, you can always disable it. Go into the settings, of course, drag down and go into the settings like so, or you can add the settings icon to your desktop, either way. But once you're in settings, go to display, and you see where Page Buddy is set to on, just set it to off, and then it won't do that anymore. And then also you see you have a lot of other functionalities in the settings. Also, you know, you got you know, of course, in the display you have Page Buddy, LED indicator, wallpaper, and it lets you choose your lock screen or your lock screen or home screen or lock and home screen wallpaper, which that's kind of neat. You know, you have your brightness, auto rotation, screen timeout, a lot of stuff, smart stay, which I don't really use. You want to display your battery percentage, you can check it from here also. A lot of good functions within the settings. Pretty much the same with a lot of other TouchWiz or devices. Okay, another thing that's really neat about this phone is the LTE. AT&T's LTE is really fast in my area. It's even faster than Verizon's so far in some places. And I'll let you see a speed test just to give you an idea. See, I'm getting about 19, almost 20 megs down, 22. 43 millisecond ping. So that's pretty fast. And on average, I mean, I think the highest I've got was 40 or 47. You see, I've done several tests. And I have 47 here. I've gotten 10, 14. But on average, I get about probably anywhere from 16 to 20. So it's pretty fast. It's pretty neat. Now this is a very large phone, and it does take some getting used to. I can fit it in my pocket okay, but it does feel kind of awkward. Also, you know, you have the typical build, Samsung build quality, which it doesn't really bother me. I kind of like it. A lot of people get bothered by the plastic. The only thing that I'm concerned about is the back, the real shiny back, and I've already accidentally scratched mine, and so I would highly recommend getting a case. And speaking of the back, you can remove it, or I'll remove it, and I'll show you the big, huge 3100 milliamp hour battery. You have your spot for your SIM card and your SD, which that's one of the advantages of a Samsung phone or other phones that have removable storage. I have a 64 gigabyte SanDisk SD card in here, and I have all my movies and everything on here, all my music, and I still got like 37 gigabytes left. So that's an advantage if you like to store your stuff locally and don't like to use the cloud or you don't have like an unlimited data plan or something like that. It's really helpful. But I mean, I like the feel of the phone, but I would definitely get a case for it and get that snap back on. Now let's have a look at Google Now on the Galaxy Note 2. Excuse me. Basically, you hold down the home button, and of course, it brings up all your recent apps, your clock, Google Now, or your trash, where you can clear all your recent apps. So you can click on Google Now from here. It brings up all your cards. You know, I have a few cards. You can have a sports card of your favorite team. One of the things I like about the improvement of Google Now is if you have shipping, it lets you know if you have a package on your way to your address, and the weather, of course. And it's all they want you to use it with Wi-Fi, because it says it approves your location because it's using GPS. But it works really well. I don't use S Pen or S Voice, I'm sorry. So I like Google Now a lot better. The music app is much improved, or it could have been the same with TouchWiz. I don't use TouchWiz. When I get a phone that has TouchWiz on it, I immediately probably root it and put a custom ROM on it. So these features, if you're familiar with TouchWiz, you probably know about these features more than I do. But I like it. Once I start playing with it, you have, you know, a lot of different sound profiles. I chose custom, and with custom you can set an equalizer. You can do extended, where it makes it sound even clearer. And you have a reverb, room size, bass, 3D, different settings. And I've noticed since I've done this, it's worked a lot. It's worked pretty good. I like it. It sounded better than actually I thought it would. Now I still use Power Amp, but I mean, if you don't want to use Power Amp, or you don't want to buy it, the unlocked version, the music player, the stock music player, I should say, is not bad at all. One of the things I like about the S Pen is I use a Square app for my business, where people can scan their credit cards. And what's really neat about it is, you know, instead of signing with their finger, they can sign it with the S Pen. It's really professional, and I like that. As you notice, I have lock screen widgets. You don't have to have the default widgets. You can put your own, customize it to what you want on the lock screen, and I'll show you that. And we're going to swipe down a notification and go to settings. But while we're here, you can see the quick toggles, which are really neat. I like that, where I can turn on my Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, screen rotation, airplane mode, power saving, driving mode, all share, which I don't use, sync. You can do all this. Undoubtedly, you've seen that in other versions of TouchWiz. Also, it has the new kind of integrates Jelly Bean with the Roboto font and the date in the drop down. Here's blocking mode, where you can basically set a time where you don't want to get notifications or calls, which I think is pretty neat. Into our settings, back to the lock screen. You go to the lock screen in the main settings, and it has the different information of what you want to do on the lock screen, what type of security you want to have. If you want to swipe or code, if you want to have lock screen options, which we'll go into in a minute, owner information, which you can put your name on there, pop-up note on lock screen. Right here, go into lock screen options and shortcuts. You can turn them on or off. Click on it, and it has, these are the shortcuts I have. If you want to replace the shortcut, you just tap on the shortcut that you want to replace, like so, and then you just, from the list of all your apps, you choose the one that you want to replace it with, and it's just that easy. Okay, here's the app drawer right here. And it's typical TouchWiz app drawer, which is okay. I like Jelly Bean or stock Android better, but you know, and it's just continuous. It goes through and then starts back over. You can switch to your widgets, which there are several of them. It's kind of choppy until it seems like to catch up. I kind of don't like that, but that's how it is. You would think with something with the hardware this phone has, it wouldn't be choppy at all, but oh well. One of the things I don't like about TouchWiz. Anyway, you know, you have several widgets. A lot of widgets I've installed, and a lot of stock widgets. And eventually I may end up rooting this phone and de-bloating it. And for those of you who are not all geeky tech, de-bloating means removing all the stock AT&T apps and extra crap they put on here. But anyway, but I mean, you may like it. Some people like it. It's not bad. They're just trying to make it easy for the consumer and make it sort of iOS-like. That, I mean, in my opinion, that's what they're doing. Anyway, this is your app drawer, and you see it has kind of a cool transition to go back to your home screen. To view all your home screens, you just like TouchWiz, you kind of pinch it down. Of course, it doesn't want to work when I want to do it, but there it is. And then you can see all your home screens, and you can add a home screen, remove it, whatever. But yeah, it's all right. I mean, I don't mind TouchWiz. Like I said, I don't mind this version, and I'm gonna use it and try it out before if I root it. I don't know if I'm gonna even root it. I'm getting the Nexus 4, so I'm happy about that. Stock Android. But anyway, this is a review of the Note 2, so I won't go too far into that. But oh, the camera app. I can show you, which is pretty neat. Not really a big change, kind of like the S3, you know, same settings right here. You have a lot of different things you can do with it. I don't do a lot of fancy things with my camera. I just take the pictures. So I don't really know a lot about it. You can see the you know, you have the front facing and rear. Right here is, I think, exposure. No, it's well, I don't know what that is. Okay, you can change the different effect of your pictures, and you have the toggle here to go to video mode, like so. Back to regular mode. Take a picture and view your pictures, and that's okay. I mean, I don't mind it. I like the stock Jelly Bean interface a little better, but that's just me. Also, you want to get if I mentioned before, yeah, you want to definitely get a case for this. So, I probably mentioned that before. Another thing I like to talk about is battery life. Battery life is really good with the 3100 milliamp hour battery on this thing, on this phone, excuse me. I'll let you give you an idea of what it's like. And I haven't been doing a lot today, so it may not be a great example. I've only been up 4 hours and almost 5 hours, and I'm at 87%. But I've got to the whole day, like 13 hours. And last night I think I was like 13 hours at 60%. I got over 13, and that was only like an hour and a half screen time. Another time I was about a little over almost 14 hours with 4 hours of screen time, and I was down to like 30%. So that's pretty good. I mean, the battery will basically, it'll last you all day. I mean, if you just moderately use it like I do, I mean, I just check emails, browse the web a little bit, you know, general tweaking and playing with the phone. You'll be able to get through the day. Listen to music. Listen to music doesn't really burn the battery that bad. So, and I can do that for hours and it'll still last, I mean, a pretty good while. At least for me. I like the fact that they added the home button here too. instead of having the 3 capacitive buttons. I like having the home button and the 2 capacitive buttons on the side. So that's a neat feature. I mentioned before when you hold the home button that this is the clock, but I was wrong. It's not actually the clock, it's a task manager. So just want to make a correction on that. A little more overview of the phone itself as far as the looks. You notice it has the AT&T logo, and that's it. Very minimal. Samsung, well, Galaxy Note 2, which I kind of like that. Not a lot of too much carrier information. Like on the Verizon model, I believe it has their logo here, which I don't care for that. But this phone isn't for everyone. You know, it's a big phone. It's a little awkward. I have long fingers, big hands, so it doesn't really bother me. But it's not for everyone, like I said. It's a nice, really nice phone. The color right now, I believe this is all they have available on AT&T, and it actually doesn't look that bad. Once you get it in your hand, it's like sort of a metal silver type, a metal gray. It's hard to see on film. I know it doesn't look as great when you watch it on the video, but it actually looks better when you see it in person. As you've probably seen before, but I'll go over it anyway, is you have your USB, micro USB on the bottom, your S Pen, of course, your microphone, another microphone on the top, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, excuse me. You have your sensor for when you put your face to the phone and you're answering the phone, to put the phone to sleep, or at least turn the screen off. Your camera, your front-facing camera, your rear-facing camera and flash on the back. The speaker, speaking of speaker, a lot of people like to know about the speaker. It's actually pretty loud. I usually don't listen to my phone that way, as far as listening to music through the external speaker, but it's pretty loud. It sounds pretty good. Now, when you get this phone from AT&T, it only comes with the phone and a charging USB cable and a charging adapter. You don't get these neat in-ear headphones made by Samsung, excuse me, that it's really good. But you can get these off of eBay for like $7. So, if I can, I'll try to leave a link in the description where you can order them. But I mean, I don't know why they didn't include these. It's not like it would add a lot to the phone. Anyway, that's my review of the Galaxy Note 2, the AT&T version. I'll probably be rooting this phone. I don't know. I'm gonna get the Nexus phone pretty soon, so I mean, I may just leave it as is and use it as a phablet, as people call it. I never liked that term, but that's what it is. I mean, you don't really, if you want to go somewhere quick, if you have a lot of devices like I do, you can just grab this and then you can use it for checking, basically like a tablet and a phone. You know, kind of weird holding it up to the side of your head, but you can always use your earpiece, which I do. Anyway, it's a neat phone. I would recommend it if you like big phones. It runs well. The screen is awesome. It doesn't use the pentile matrix anymore. It uses the regular RGB sub-pixel, if I'm saying that correctly. I may not be, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Where actually it doesn't share sub-pixels. It's each pixel is separate for the main colors. Whereas pentile, it shares the pixels, and supposedly it doesn't look as good. But I really can't tell the difference. I mean, it is a better looking screen, so I shouldn't say that. It does look better than the original Note, if I had to compare it. But anyway, this is my review of the Note 2. I hope you liked it. I hope it was informative for you. And I really appreciate you watching my video. Have a nice day.